Rah! It's moi. Hello. Now don't forget to like this video. Toodle pip. Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. Today we return to another Gentry favorite, a traditional style of video. It is, of course, the EDC, which is something I do annually, and it was, in fact, one of the very first videos I did on the channel. Back in the day, it was the Khaki King, I think. Do you guys even remember? The OGs, the original Gentry will remember. It was the Hamilton that very much made famous by Hugh Laurie, the legendary British actor. Anyway, I'm waffling, rabbiting on. Let me do wristwatch check before I forget. It's the Tudor Submariner, and I've put it on this Wrist Candy Watch Club khaki strap, and I think it really works. There's something about monochrome divers with khaki colored straps. I don't know, it just works. And this is one of my favorites, in fact, because it's very soft, and Wrist Candy Watch Club have really upped their game in recent years. Again, I'm waffling. I'll leave links down below if you're interested, along with everything included in this video. So without further ado, let's take it to the light box and have a closer look. Let's go through some regular items that are, I guess, my quintessential favorites that you already know. Of course, my Carl Friedrik wallet. Let me just cover my ID there. NatWest, you gotta love NatWest. The cognac leather has really aged beautifully. I love all the marks and details. I got this one personalized, and this is a brand London based, but made in Italy. Incredible quality, the stitching. You guys know I adore Carl Friedrik. They're like luxury quality, but without the cheesy branding or exorbitant prices. You really get what you pay for. Classic kind of British style, or more kind of Scandinavian style, vachetta quality leather. I believe this one is handmade, and of course the Italians are world renowned for their leather goods. I'm also a big fan of their bags, and it's my go-to wallet. I've still got my Metro card, which actually has got credit on it, and interestingly enough, because I do still go back to New York quite regularly to see family. Well, not right now, but I will be there again soon. Still using the Scandis or Sandis or whatever they're called, MP3 players, with two different types of you got the standard Apple headphones. This is for when I'm on the street, because I can also quickly plug it into my phone, use it for phone calls, obviously. But as you guys know, the quality isn't very good. So again, this is another old favorite, the Sennheiser. Now, back in what's in here? Oh, okay, I've got earplugs there. Back in the day when I was doing sound engineering, the Sennheiser headphones were the best, in my opinion. These are amazing. I think they're the CX2 something blah blah blah. Anyway, I forget, but they're very affordable. Amazing frequency response. If I want to listen to music seriously, that's what I use. But the reason why I go for the Apple ones is because these are noise cancelling. They got great isolation, so it can be a bit dangerous wearing these on the street, but in a plane it's perfect, because you just get completely taken away into a different world with the music. So these are my go-to. I haven't changed them. In fact, if anything, I've just replaced them with new ones. And the reason for the MP3 player, because I know a lot of you, oh there we go, William Blake, will say, well, why don't you just play it off your phone? Well, the reason is these ones, the battery lasts for absolutely donkeys, and also it doesn't take up space, because there's a lot of photography, a lot of video which I put on this. And interestingly, as we're talking on my phone, I don't know anything about phones, so don't ask me. I only upgraded to this iPhone when my last one, the screen was so cracked, and I dropped it so many times. I'm not a phone guy, obviously, but I do like the covers. This is Albrecht Dürer, the famed German painter, polymath, illustrator. This is one of his prints. I love this particular image because it has the knight and he's got the devil, he's got death with him, and he's just marching ahead forward with that kind of resilient spirit, with his dog as a companion on his mighty horse. And there's a lot of symbolism, and we could spend hours just analyzing this one image. I love his art. I am actually part German as well, which I found out quite more recently. I do have some German heritage, but beyond that, I've always deeply loved German culture. You know, obviously Wagner, etc., etc. So I like what this image represents. It represents fortitude, tenacity, going forward no matter what. So I just thought that was a really cool little find. What else have we got that's a kind of regular? Well, as you guys know, I love my Parkers, but I was actually given this, the Space Pen, the Fisher. Now, I've reviewed the official Space Pen, but Fisher have made a whole line of newer ones. This is the Blueberry clip. Okay, they didn't go to space, but they used the same technology as the pen that went to space. Now, I've reviewed that one, so have a look back. This was given to me by my good friend Michael. Shout out to Michael. I hope you're well, my friend. And this is just a more compact version of the Fisher official Space Pen. So it uses that incredible gel inside that you can write at any angle, does not dry up. It's just a little bit more compact. I love the vivid, lively blue, and they're built in America, made in America. So I love supporting, you know, like Italian-made, British brands, made in America, legend Fisher pens, you know, an American legend really is. So you kind of see a little bit of pattern there. And talking of American made, let's discuss knives now. So in my last EDC, I'm pretty sure this was my go-to, I nearly said watch there, my go-to knife, the Benchmade Griptilian. It is Benchmade. I got it right. Fantastic. I've since put a little paracord with Memento Mori skull on it, of course. I love Benchmade. This is just such a great knife. You can flip it out with one hand, solid construction, again, made in America. However, it is a little bit too kind of tactical, and, you know, I must note, guys, always check the local laws where you are about what you're allowed to carry and what you're not allowed to carry. So this particular knife, depends on where I am, is legal some places, legal in other places. So I wanted something that had the elegance of one of my favorite knives, Layol or Laguiole. And it's funny, every time I talk about this, some French people correct me and say, oh, it's pronounced this way, and others say, no, it's a silent G, and they can't even decide themselves. So, you know, I'll leave that argument raging in the comments. But this is a wonderful size. Now, I said in the previous video that this is my knife that I take with me on more formal occasions. Now, this is the real thing, made in France. To be an official Layol knife, you have to be made in a certain part, and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you got the rosary, cross there, because it originally was a shepherd's knife, and then Napoleonic B, etc., etc. In a previous video, I said that I only tend to carry this when I'm going somewhere a little smarter, and I said a restaurant, for example. Now, a lot of people misunderstood, think, why would I use a knife in a restaurant? That's not what I meant. I just meant, you know, if you're wearing a dress watch, I don't want to have this in my pocket. This just doesn't go with the whole attire. A knife, yes, it's a tool, but I also like the look of them, the feel of them, and it just feels a little bit more correct. If I need to use a knife later on, let's say I'm peeling an apple, or I don't know, what, you know, I can't be without a knife. It's a quintessential tool for me. And then, you know, you got other things like this, which my Japanese made Spyderco, the Hannibal Lecter knife, which I also reviewed, which I do adore. But this is highly illegal. I mean, look at that. This thing is sharp as hell, even though originally it was designed for maritime use. But anyway, the annoying thing about this, I like to operate a knife with one hand. So I bought this, which I thought was a kind of a nice amalgamation of these two. It has, I'm pretty sure this is a deer horn handle there. Now, I've only had this a little while, and it is a bit stiff. You see that? I didn't really like that action, but it's got quite an interesting blade. Usually I go for serrated. Now, it is small, so it's inoffensive, so this is perfectly legal where I am to carry. Line and lock there to close it. It's quite tough, and like I said, I only just got it. But case is actually from Pennsylvania, I believe, Bradford. They were founded in 1889, and originally they made cutlery. I just thought this is a nice, elegant thing in a relatively smaller size, a unique blade that you can actually open with one hand, although a little bit clumsy. I'm still getting used to it, so you know, I can't really give my full opinion on it just yet. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying it. It's different. It is different, but yeah, a little bit more smarter, a bit more tastefully done. It is exquisite quality. I mean, you really do feel it. So let's discuss some of the new stuff. Now, in terms of flashlight or torch, as we say back in Blighty, you guys know the Streamlight here. I just love this. Powered by one singular AAA battery, very bright. I love the clip. You can reverse this, put it on your cap. Solid construction. Since this one, I have had others, but I've always come back to this. It's just so solid. In fact, I have several now. My wife has a red one. I bought her one. And they're just compact and great quality, simple, tough, durable. As you can see, I've got all kinds of scuffs on mine. And it's just become my go-to. I have ordered this, which is a little Olight. As you can see there, twist it there you go, and it's for UV, for doing the loom shots, as you can see on my little custom SKX there. Oh, fantastic. We'll discuss the watch in just a moment, but I don't carry this for every day, but I did want to mention it because I am impressed with the price of this, the quality. This is a kind of olive green, and again, single AAA battery, beautifully made. I might even get the regular one of this because it's just so small. So I'm going to do that soon. I think I might even order it off Amazon, because I got this off Amazon. And a lot of this stuff you can find on Amazon. I'll leave the links down below. But the Olight there, fantastic, outstanding. So that is a new acquisition. But again, you know, I don't carry that every day. Talking about new additions, there is, of course, a face mask. I never thought I'd have to add this to my EDC. And as I head out for everyday essentials, exercise, fresh air, I do wear one of these. I actually had a couple of boxes left from my last lung surgery. So let's move on to another item that is a recent addition. Now, I used to have a money clip, and I do still carry money because sometimes not all businesses accept credit cards. I was gifted this by the guys who develop, where is it? It's called the Resolute there. I'll leave a link. And they also gave me, where is it? This as a kind gift. I believe they manufacture this extremely unusual looking plane or aircraft construction design, which I think is really, really cool. So shout out to them. But I have to say, I've actually enjoyed this little box cutter knife. I mean, I always have a secondary knife, and it just flicks out like that. You can see it in there, made in the USA. Very cool little aircraft logo. I believe they're starting a Kickstarter or something for this. I might be wrong, but again, I'll leave the links. I love it. It's really cool. Oh, I forgot my pendant, my horologically related pendant. This is the Aztec calendar. Now, if you saw my video I made about horology books, the Aztec calendar is amazing. This has a double meaning for me. Firstly, obviously, it's a crucially important bit of horological history. The Aztecs were way ahead mathematically in their understanding of astronomy and measuring time. I've actually seen the original in Mexico City at the Zocalo. But the double meaning is also because my wife is Mexican. This is solid gold. I believe it's made by a company from LA, and it is incredibly intricate and detailed, and almost precisely replicates the complexity of the actual real thing. Now, I have to say, the real thing is huge. I mean, it's the size of a bus, you know. It's a nice little connection to my wife there. And talking about my wife and jewelry, I should really talk about my wedding ring. A few of you have asked about it. I'm not sure if you can see there. I actually designed and had this made to match the wedding ring that I also designed and handmade for my wife. And as you see, it's little skulls. So the classic symbolism of memento mori, of literally till death do us part. And it was fairly expensive. I mean, making jewelry, especially custom designing and making jewelry, is not a cheap thing to do. She has a black diamond with 2 skulls on either side, which I designed. And I'm not going to go to the symbolism of the black diamond, but it's something very personal between me and my wife. And I love that reminder of what the most important things in life. And obviously, you know, it ties in kind of nicely with Mexican Day of the Dead and their traditions as well. So there we go. And talking of jewelry, I should really, well, let me show you this. I'm not sure if I shared it in a video before. You guys know I love my signet ring. Well, actually, that's a black star sapphire. You can have stones, and this is my birthstone, which is an amethyst in a kind of gothic style. Beautiful, absolutely wonderful find. Or you can have your initials, which as you've seen here, you guys know, so you don't have to have a family crest. This is the classic. This is what I was wearing before. But anyway, so I had this commissioned. This is the same company as before. They've really done a nice new boxes for their products. Oxford Signet Ring Company in the UK with the classic Oxford style setting. This time I went with a red sardonyx that has the top in a blue there as they cut away for the engraving, because this is obviously, I'll show you the wax seal, this is the inverse. This was the old school way of signing a letter, the wax seal. So this prints that, right? And I had this commissioned last Christmas with one identical for my mum, which I just think is a wonderful thing, and she wears it proudly. And it's a connection between family. Okay, signet rings are not for everybody. It's an ancient thing, started in ancient Egypt. Again, I've done a whole video about it. The Romans really spread it into Europe, and it was then kind of revived and became popular in most of the rest of Europe in the Middle Ages. And that's actually when my family got christened. This particular crest, the lion holding the Crusader cross, which, as you've noticed, I've morphed into the logo for the channel. And the significance of it is very deep for me. I mean, it represents a connection to the past, to loved ones. Every time I look at it, it reminds me of where I come from. And if I just pull in Burke's Landed Gentry there in volume 1, I do have all 3 volumes. If we go to, where is it? Here. There's the actual lion there, because my mum is a Wolford, very proudly so. So there we go. And the tradition is you get it at 21, and it's worn on the pinky. Although I wear it on the incorrect side. So I'm really chuffed with this. And you know, sometimes I feel like wearing something else. You can change it to match your attire, etc. Okay, so let's carry on. I'm going to cover my keys for security reasons. Oh, there you go. There's a Victorinox. See, I always have a secondary knife. I never can have enough knives, but these are great. You know, toothpick. You know, this is just a very basic one. I've got loads of these. This was a little gift from NDC with the Italian colours, because I am also Italian, of course. So thank you. Shout out to NDC. This little thing I picked up, this cheapo from Amazon, just has a thermometer and the compass. This is great, the Gerber. So this is 5 tools. Got a screwdriver, little crowbar, bottle opener, all kinds of things. This was only a couple of bucks, again made in America. This has come in so useful. This was from Fortis, there you go, which actually has to be mentioned is the watch I'm wearing now. They gave this to me when I did the Reno video. If you remember the Reno air race videos, which were really fun. If you missed that video, oh guys, you gotta check it out. That was an amazing event. So yeah, hopefully I'll go again if they're gonna do Reno this year. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. And talking of watches, why am I wearing this? I really should address that. And I've got my little SKX, the Hunter Pro Mod, or I like to call it the Baby Panther. I was thinking during this situation, I've been wearing a lot of day dates because working from home, sometimes I forget what day it is. So the day date complication has really been useful. Obviously, wearing a solid gold Rolex day date is not the most practical. So divers in particular, with a day date, that you can wash the strap, you can wash the watch, don't have to worry about water damage too much, you know, has been really my go-to watches of late, and probably will be for the rest of the year. But also you got the timing, dive time bezel, which is incredibly useful for obvious reasons. And so has been the Fortis Cosmonaut, because of course you got the screw down pushers there, date, 24-hour time chronograph, which I've stopped there with that incredible Lemania movement. I've been wearing a lot of watches with day-date complications, and I think that is going to be probably the trend for the rest of the year. What else have I got? Well, I got my Copperloy, which I discussed in my 10 things I can't live without video there. I think this is blue agate. What else? Oh, of course. Now this is the Ghost Strike kit, with includes, it's about I think about $70 or so, made in America. Gerber, they're from Portland, Oregon. I might be wrong about that. It comes with a lifetime guarantee. Now this is the ankle kit, which you get. This straps on to your ankle, and it's called the Ghost Strike because it has a very thin profile, got a rubberized handle there, and you can pull it out of your ankle strap, and you just click it back in, very secure there. For obvious reasons, it's called the Ghost Strike. It's very light, very comfortable. You don't notice it's there, but it gives you the assurance that it is. But it's a nice little backup there. And the knife itself, if you just see the size, is not too big. So in most places in the United States, this is not a problem. But of course, like before, please check the laws where you live. Oh, and by the way, this unscrews, and it comes with this, which screw on here. You can remove it from the ankle strap, and you can put it on your belt. If you prefer to have it on your belt, maybe behind you or by your side, something like that. So really cool. Love this. Neglect to mention sunglasses. Well, Perseals, of course, but I don't typically wear them all the time, depending on weather. So that must get a mention too. But those are my go-to Perseals. Again, I've done that a million times in previous videos. So let's take it back to the studio. Before I go, some of you are still not getting the notifications when I post new videos. So please do remember to hit that little bell icon. It's probably there or somewhere thereabouts. What else? Oh, most importantly, I'd love to hear what your EDC consists of. What have you taken away? What do you recommend? Please do share in the comments. I love hearing back from you guys. And that's about it. Yeah, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and found it useful. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next one. Okay, ciao.